Good afternoon. 12:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Date 10/16/2012. Earnings cycle is in play. We have Intel, IBM, ISRG. Most importantly, and speaking of ISRG, look at that baby rip. Look at that baby rip. Look at it rip. Rick Gully, go look at the $500 put and go tell me what it is while I'm doing this live video here with this on the closing bell. Thank you, sir. Now, listen, everybody. What this is about. This is about the key indexes. I've got the S&P 500 breaking above the 10 and 20-day simple moving averages. There's that 50-day. It never undercut it like Apple and the other ones. We talked about it during our weekend training and other live videos, and we're coming back up to hit this upper trend line. Same trend lines, resistance ones coming into play. What is it all about? It's about Romney versus Obama. Yes. How could the world change into a positive environment? Something that you would like. I know it because that's what I want, so I know that's what you want. And a lower tax base and broadening the work base. What do I mean by that? Putting people back to work, getting things going, getting competitive in the United States. That's what this rally on the Dow is about. This is what the rally in the NASDAQ 100 is. There is a presidential debate this evening. And because Mr. Romney did fairly decent in his last debate, the markets responded a certain way, and that's the S&P 500. I am proud to tell you that over the weekend, we talked about it, did not sell below it, but because of the debate, they're pricing in a good Romney event, and the market's like that in the short term now. When I go over to the Dow, right here, the Dow did not sell below the 50-day simple moving average, and that is a Romney and Obama deal today. And that's where that support level came in. That 50-day rise in moving average is holding as we went through this over the weekend with our complete MMTs around the world and U.S. is that you can see you're above a 10 and the 20 on that Dow Jones. And that Dow Jones, as soon as it got right down here, we hit that, but we had to follow through the day because people are anticipating a much better environment and that maybe there could be a change in government. And that if we get the right formulas with the right people working for us on the Hill, that 90% of investors believe that Congress is going to take care of that fiscal cliff as well. Well, they haven't done it yet, so let's not put what this trade is about on that, but that's the consensus. And that's sometimes kind of scary when 90% of the people are thinking they're actually going to do something. America was built on what? Entrepreneurship, free capital markets to prosperity, everything that you would want. And let capital markets work through their systems as they were designed to do. Therefore, the Dow going into this closing bell in 11 minutes is above the 10 and the 20-day moving averages. And what people are anticipating as another good debate will happen tonight with Mr. Romney. And he will have to come out and talk about lots of other issues that the current administration hasn't dealt with. And there are quite a number of those. And maybe they will deal with them tonight. But right now, people believe that there could possibly be a forward-looking change and markets would go higher just based on that alone. And that's what this support level is about. It's about the presidential debate tonight. You didn't sell below there. That thing come ripping right back up. Remember, the first correction, there's that double top, and then it made a lower low now. And no one says we're out of the woods because the same thing could occur here, right here. This is going to be the resistance level. And this is on the Dow. But nonetheless, we can break much higher. And it's a Romney trade. NASDAQ Composite. Look at this one. It too had cut below its 50-day moving average and came down and hit this major support level that we talked about. Let us keep that very clear. And not only that, let us keep the fact that it starts with the bottom, with the positive up day and a gap, and there's that 50-day moving average and that 10-day that crossed over the 40-day simple moving average. That's going to have to flatten out. And we're in the middle of an earnings season, and nobody's expecting anything good. Why should they? There'll be some, there's always a breath of fresh air in some of them. However, people are all concerned about what that fiscal cliff may be. However, if they think that Romney and that people are going to go that way, and if that man delivers, I'm not a voter for Mr. Obama. I'm not a voter for Mr. Romney. I don't vote, period. What I am saying is how the markets respond to a possible change. And a possible change in this case is going to be how the tax base would come down, and we've talked about it for years. This isn't the first time, but I'm going into the closing bell, the NASDAQ composite, Romney versus Obama. They're running these things up. They're anticipating a good debate. They're anticipating change. That's part of how the market is responding. Going back up, this particular one, this NASDAQ composite really slowed down on daily bars here. But you can see the recovery, and the thing about it is, the recovery is that this debate tonight will come out ahead for Mr. Romney, and that the fiscal cliff that everyone talks about wouldn't happen. And because of that, markets would go higher. And they want to go higher. People need to go back to work, and we need the right leadership in America. And there's lots of things going on. We need somebody that can do the job. And if the markets feel that there's a change, this is why we can go ripping right back up to these highs in the very, very short term. Let us not forget that outside of the election tonight with Mr. Obama and President Obama and Mr. Romney is that we have earnings to deal with. And they're going to have to deal with IBM after the close. Right now, I'm concluding a bull rally, presidential debate this evening. Here is that move. Let it be known. It is 12:52 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we've enjoyed our day immensely. We found that support level, like I said, on this NASDAQ composite with the Googles and the Apples and all the big bellwethers in the NASDAQ composite. You're getting back above that 50-day moving average, and that 10-day, you have the 20-day still up here, and that 40, and it's going to take a very good debate tonight in order to get us back here. Here is where we want to get back. We want to get closing above this level up here and make a next bull run. Even with the earnings not being that great. Just the pent-up demand, if the U.S. public is finally ready to make that change, then they're going to make the change. And if they're going to make the change, they're going to want to be involved in markets. And capital investments would grow here in the U.S. And all that money that left the United States, over $1.3 trillion that I know of, that would work its way back to the U.S. shores. How about that? Which would do what? Oh, don't tell me that would grow our productivity. Would manufacturing and productivity increase? Could that ever happen in America again? I feel that it could if we got the right change. And the right things happen forward looking. That's part of what this rally is about. It's anticipation of that change.